Oh, everyone. Something rather unexpected happened right in the middle of the live stream. I got a call from a friend who had some surgery recently and telling me he's doing okay now. That's good to know. Anyway, we were just talking about silver prices and how much the coins have been costing lately. Now, bought a buffalo like this for $28 in January, like the first, second, or third of January. This I could have bought one just like this weekend for $28, same price. So a lot of people ask, well, where how much will one of these cost by the end of the year? Well, silver would start going up, might be quite a bit, but for right now, it's not a very expensive. It's a $6 premium, and historically, the premium on buffaloes has only been about $3. Now, other ones that I've recently bought, the ship on this is there's just remarkable detail on that. And I don't have to tell anybody I love selling ship designs. And that's the main reason why I bought this one. This is the Sadov, and it's made by Rwanda. And now, this particular ship is in possession by the Russian Navy. It's a big sailing ship. 385-foot long, 4 masts. It's huge. But I like the coin anyway, and the design is just stunning. Yeah, I got a phone call, Silver Stanger. Stanger. Anyway, a friend of mine had a surgery, and he's telling me he's doing okay, which is good to know. Anyway, there's a lot of detail on this particular coin too. Now, let's set these back here for now. Let's talk about a different thing. This is a magician stunt coin I just showed earlier. This is a different type of magician stunt coin. It's a Morgan dollar. It's made out of steel. It is in 1888. Now, when I bought them, I got 5 of them from Amazon. They're about $8 to $9 for these, for all of them. Now, if you look at the design really close on the back here, it looks a lot like a Morgan dollar. The front looks like a Morgan dollar. Now, the appearance of the metal doesn't look like silver, but if you don't know your Morgan dollars, and this is in a holder, and they said it was a Morgan dollar, unless you tested it with a magnet, you would know, because this is steel, it'll stick to the magnet real quick. But when you hold it side by side with another Morgan dollar and look at the design, it looks like a Morgan dollar. It's good enough to probably fool, people, if a magician's got one in his hand or more than one on stage and he's showing it and he's making it do tricks with a magnet or whatever, you're not going to know it's not an actual Morgan dollar because he probably won't let you hold it. If you hold it, you can tell they don't have weight. I think I weighed these and they were like maybe 19 grams. And a silver dollar would not be a Morgan, or a peace dollar wouldn't be anywhere around 19 grams and still have a design. It would be so slick at that point, there would probably be nothing left to it. But I'm going to talk about that. There's 5 of them here. But if you cling them around a little bit, silver don't sound like that when it clangs on another coin. Hear what that sounds like, and then listen to these again. You try to ping test these, they fail that too. Doesn't ping very long, and it's very high pitched. You know, Morgan dollars, if I can get this into balance good. That rings a long time. So, but anyway, like I said, this makes for a coin that a magician can do stuff with that you couldn't do with a silver. If you're using a magnet, so like you got it laying on a table and you got a magnet under the table and you're kind of making it slide on the table a little bit, or you're holding it in your hand and then you have a magnet in your other hand or a magnetic ring and you kind of like, and it's gone, make it disappear. Plus, if you accidentally lose it, you don't feel like you're really losing a lot of money because an actual Morgan dollar, 30 something dollars recently or higher. Matter of fact, I just looked at several different coin places, AppMex, Money Metals, JM Bullion, SD Bullion, in the like, and what they wanted for what they called coal condition Morgan dollars was around $31, $32 in that range. Some of them were a bit cheaper than others, but Morgan dollars are not exactly cheap right now in terms of their premiums. Now, the next thing I wanted to do, star notes. Do you know what these are? These are modern ones, so they're not very expensive or valuable, but they're all star notes. And when the mint, treasury, whatever, who makes these messes up, something's wrong with the print, they don't like it, they have to reprint them. These have been circulated and stuff, but I was able to get all three of them for $3.75. I don't know if these will ever be valuable in any way, shape, or form. Hard telling. But since I could get them and you don't see star dates hardly ever in circulation, I don't recall ever seeing one. I figured I'd go ahead and buy them. Now, let's take the dimes out of this bowl. This one's like 30 Mercuries and 20 Roosevelts. This one was some of the last coins I bought last year. I'm going to just open this up and dump them out and have a look at them. Most of them are Mercury dimes, obvious. And they're mostly worn. This one's not horrible. It's a 35. There's Roosevelt, 64. Another Roosevelt, 54. Mercury, another 64. Another Mercury. Some more Roosevelts. A lot of these are 64s because they just, I don't know, there's a 46. Let's see if you can see the date or not, but that won't focus. That will. No mint marks, so it's a Philadelphia. More. That's a nicer looking 59. It's not too worn. But most of these coins were bought last year, leading up into December 57. I thought most of these were Mercuries, but that might not be the case. It looks like there's quite a bit of Roosevelts. That's a 46, and that one's got mint luster left on it. It's a D mint, which on these older ones, the mint marks right there. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, I have a silver certificate. No, I don't know how quick I could find it. I have at least one more Mercury. So let me go ahead and sort these out a little bit. Another 64. A 1911 Barber. No mint mark, but not in real horrible shape. Most of these are worn like this when you see them. So there's a Barber in here, at least one. There's another one, 1908, and I think that's a D. I can get it to focus and the light to hit it and be able to see it. I can see it. I don't know if I can get this to focus here in front of the camera, but I could see that it is D. Mercury, 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 Mercury. Well, Mercury's took over all the way down to the bottom of the tube, and there's one more Barber in here, a 1914. Hold it. See if I can get any detail. Oh yeah, there you go. Now, this one has no mint mark. It's Philadelphia. So I have three Barbers and about the same amount each of Mercury and Roosevelt's appears. Um, let's see if I can get the silver certificate note I have out and show you, because it's circulated though. Hold on. It is a 1935 G. Um, I do have a horse blanket one, but it's not handy, and it's even worse shape than this is. This is beat up quite a bit, so it's. I mean, I think it's only it's only the one. Oh, it's a star date, or it's got a star here, but I don't know if that's the same thing. Means the same thing as what the star date on these do. But anyway, it's seen a lot of circulation. Let's see if I can read this name. It Elizabeth Russell Smith was the Secretary of the United States then, and C. Douglas Dillon was the Secretary of the Treasury. Um, but that's my silver certificate that I have handy. And like I got this in change, so the holder, I don't remember where I got it, but anyway, I got this in my change, so I didn't pay any money to get it. Yeah, too bad we can't trade dollars for silver today. You know, that's how some of these guys got these rather large, looks like a loaf of bread kind of silver bars, because they take hundreds of dollars into the treasury and ask for silver, and they had to give it to them and then put them in big bars. Um, I've seen some that were like 900 plus ounces online before. Hello, Avelia. I think that's how it's pronounced. How you doing? Yeah, it's kind of neat. This I got in my change, in circulation. I did not have to pay anything to get it. It's $1. These I did pay for. They're star notes. They're a replacement for messed up printings. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start putting these dimes back in to this. Oldest in the bottom, and then put the Mercuries, and then put the Roosevelts. I stopped filling this tube at the end of last year because somebody convinced me to do a treasure chest challenge where you're filling up a treasure chest with 90% silver. And I put that bag away, but I showed it earlier. I hate that when that happens. They got jammed in. And the only problem with these plastic tubes, sometimes when you're throwing the coins in, they get stuck. Now, did not pull many of these out. We'll have a look at what's in the quarter. I did a live stream last week showing these in terms of what you look for if you're doing a $50 roll hunt, what you want to find. And I also did a live stream talking about what you wanted to find in quarters and dimes, war nickels. I think most of these are Washingtons. That's a 49D. There might be a few standing liberties in here. That's a D mint one, 1950, kind of worn. There's a 64 that's practically uncirculated. I'd say it's AU. It's a Philadelphia one. Now, interesting note about there you go, 32 Philadelphia, first year of issue. The DNS were real low mintages that year. This one they made a good 5 million plus. There's only going to be a 1-year design too, but people liked it. So in 1934 they started making them again. There are no 33s. But what I was getting ready to say, this is a 64D. The coin dealer I go to on South 7th said that a lot of these silver coins that we used to get back in the day where I live came from Denver, just because Philadelphia serviced the East Coast and stuff, and Denver covered the West Coast for the most part, and the Midwest. So a lot of the coins came from there. But there's the 59. That's not horrible. But these are all generally circulated for the most part. The 64 ones didn't get a whole lot of circulation on them before they changed the content. And, once they changed the content, people did start pulling the silver out of circulation. There's a 45 with the rim starting to go on it. So it's seen quite a bit, but this was issued during World War II. Yeah. Evelia, I've gotten about 10 quarters like this and change over the years. I don't work where I handle a lot of coins. It's just from getting change. But most of these appear to be Washington quarters in this. But I do have, there's a date left on this one. Standing Liberty, it's a 26. I don't think there's any mint mark left on it, if it ever had one. It would be right over here, and I can't see it. Looking at the coin, it doesn't really appear that it had one on there. Now, this one's interesting because along the way, they changed the design on the back after the first 2 years and put 3 stars under the eagle. Well, this one, the eagle's a little bit lower and there's no stars. So this is a type 1 quarter. Means it's a 16 or 17, probably 17. The date is totally gone. I can't see any sign that there's any date left on it. But then there is a Barber D mint one in here. And it is a 1907. It's pretty slick. And then the last one down in there, it looks like someone took a black magic marker to this side of the quarter. This side doesn't look dark. Yeah, anytime you get a silver coin quarter in your change, kind of happy because that melt recently, these were $4 melt, $3.97. Not quite $4, but close enough to say it's a $4 coin at the at melt. But you can see this one does have mint luster left on the coin. Pretty nice actually. But they made so many 64 and 64D coins, and this one's Philadelphia, that they're just not, it's just not much value beyond the silver itself and Denver Mint. Anyway, we can work these back into the tube. I'm going to put all the Washingtons on the bottom so I can look at the two standing liberties in the barber anytime I want without having to dump all the coins out. I do have quite a bit of quarters. I have a box with quarters in them and $half. It's a big box, a dealer kind of box. They're all put in. I'll stick the barber in and then put the type 1 one on the top of so I can get to it easier if I ever want to show it off again for any reason. Then the modern ones, well, silver is Stanger. The walking liberty, the standing liberty, and the mercury dime. Not to mention the Morgan dollar and peace dollar, the seated liberty coins, the barber coins even. They weren't really 100% supposed to be real people. I mean, this is actually modeled after a person, but it's supposed to be Lady Liberty. So, and that's the same thing they did with the peace dollar. It's a different woman. But anyway, all the other coins, the standing liberties, the walking liberties, they don't have presidents on them. How attractive, hello Dragon Coins, Treasure Hunter, how attractive is Roosevelt, on the dime? It's an older guy when they did it, not, yeah, it is what it is. The Washington quarter, father of the country, the JFK $half. He was a younger guy, at least when, they used his portrait, which is a tragic reason. But no, if you really want to get some beautiful coins, you start going to other countries' silver, like Mexican. I love Mexican silver. I've really taken to liking it a lot. This is the Sing peso, or Cien. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. 100 peso, 3/4, 720 percentage silver. I got a couple of them this year. And then you got Libertads. Hold on a sec. I don't have to say or tell anyone that Libertads are a very beautiful coin. And I like the back on these two. This is 1984. It's 4 nines, 1 ounce of silver. And it says Independency Libertad around the edge of the coin, which I don't know exactly how they do it. This one's reeded. It's a more modern one, but it's really beautiful. This was $42 when I bought it, and then I put the holder on it. The day I bought it, though, I looked it up online. The cheapest I saw was, I think, $43.99 or $42.99. So it was, by the time I paid $1 for this holder, it was about the same price. Oh yeah, well, you want to know something funny? This one, when I bought it, the coin dealer had it for $27. which, oh yeah, 5 ounce, that would be cool. Well, you know what, Silver Stanger? They make a 12 troy ounce statue of, and I think it's sterling silver Libertad. It's just the angel with the wings. Money Metal had them. They were $999. They're really cool looking. It's 12 troy ounces. It's a big piece. I think it's about 4 inches tall. You should go look at it. Look at one online later, or even look right now. It's really cool. But no, this was $27 when I bought it, and I think silver is running about, I want to say 23, $24 range when I bought it. Didn't have a big premium, and I actually have. I don't know if I can find it real quick. I have a 1/4 ounce Libertad that I paid $6 for recently. Actually, they're, the 1/4 ounce ones are really low mintages, and so are the 1/10 ounce ones. In some years, especially, some years are higher, but I'm not sure how high the actual mintage for this particular year was. But New Silver Stacker has the same one, 1984. It's kind of funny. I think this design was a few on it for a few years, and they kind of switched to this design. I think some of them on the back, the middle eagle eating the snake is bigger, and by this time they put these other ones, which is some of the other coat of arms. Some of them are eagles eating the snake in different designs. Some of them are designs like I think some of the other earlier silver Mexican coins had on them. But it is a very beautiful coin. But yeah, they are kind of expensive. Uh, Imagine some of the other coins. Now I know this particular one, half. Yeah. Um, this is the Bounty made by Cook Islands. They have a 2 ounce version. They have a tenth, quarter, half, 1 ounce, and then they have the kilo. There are some coins like this they make in 10 kilos, and a 10 kilo is a very big and very thick. I mean, a kilo one's pretty big and very thick too. This is only 1 ounce, but I know they make these in kilos, and I'd like to get one, but they will not be cheap. But want to get more silver bars. This is gold plated, but it's a silver, and it says on the back that it's 3/9 silver. I Yeah, 10 kilo. Yeah, there are some out there 10 kilo. I'm not kidding you. And you know what the biggest one they ever made was? This will blow your mind because it's I think the British Mint actually made it, but it was made for an African country. It's 55 kilos. It's about the size of a manhole cover. Very thick, very heavy. I mean, 55 kilos, you're talking 2.2 pounds a kilo. 55. It's 100 plus pounds of silver. I don't even know, but it's a 55 and it's huge. I've seen a picture of it. It's for an African elephant on one side. And the other side, I don't know. I think it's the country's whatever. A lot of these countries put their, or not countries, but mints put their country's symbols on one side plus a design on the other. Like, but and then this buffalo is just kind of a copy of the American buffalo nickel, but it's a 1 ounce silver coin. And this one's a 4/9 medical grade silver. So if you needed it for that purpose. But a lot of people don't like buying buffaloes because they're so kind of bland. There ain't a lot of details on them. But my coin dealer did have one recently that had radio lines in the background on both sides. It was pretty cool looking, actually. And usually these don't have a date on them, but he had some that were 2015s and some that had 2021 on them. This has no date, and it has no company issue, so it's a very generic one. But it was $28 this year. I think I bought this one January 1st, if I remember correctly. The fact that when I bought this it was 27 is just mind blowing. It should have been higher, but he didn't have a high premium on it. I guess he bought a whole bunch of them and just priced them all to sell, because that's what he does. Because his big model is, anytime you see a coin with a price written on it that's real high, he goes, that guy, he didn't want to sell this coin. He just want to look at it. I want to sell it. That's his model. And the other thing I think I've heard him say more than once is, an unsold coin sitting on your tray doesn't make you any money. And that's a good point, because if it just sits there and no one buys it, then you're not making money. And unless you've been a coin dealer for years and years and years. Oh, I like the Buffalo nickel more than the round too, but you know, it's an actual circulation coin. This is just bullion. And I did a little investigation a while back about insuring your coins. It's kind of funny what they will insure and what they won't. Bullion like this, they will not insure it because it's bought for investment purposes, sold by the ounce, determined by the price of silver. Won't insure buffaloes, won't insure American silver eagles, won't insure this. They'll insure Morgan dollars and circulated coins like these. They'll insure that. And if you have a really big collection and you think it's worth over 10,000, they want you to take it and have a coin dealer, expert, whatever, authenticate the value of your coins and what you have. And if you have one coin that's 5,000 plus, or you say it is, they want that authenticated too. Now, I don't have any $5,000 coins. The most valuable coin I have is an uncirculated GSA box Morgan dollar, which I showed off on one of my recent live streams. And I have videos showing it too if you want to see it. I mean, but the whole idea of, if you want to insure it, you buy, example I used, a guy goes to a coin store and he tells him, I want a monster box of American Silver Eagles, 500 coins. None of it's insurable. So if he takes it home and has it in his house, let's say something happens, house burns completely to the ground, the silver gets melted into the basement, into the floor, into the ground, whatever. It's just a big glop of silver at that point. You'd have to take it, remelt it, and make a big huge block, have it tested out and find out what its percentage silver versus junk metals or whatever else is in it. It'd just be a big bar. Not insurable. The insurance company would say, well, we don't insure that kind of stuff. Now, there might be a way to actually insure bullion coins. I don't know how. And what the insurance people I talk to said, they don't really insure them. Bullion. I had the paperwork. I done a live stream about it. I showed the paperwork. Showed a bunch of different examples of bullion coins plus different Morgans and other silver coins. That's on my channel to watch anytime you want. But this is just a glass gemstone. Looks like a diamond. Kind of cool. I bought that recently. I bought this. It's a little bit yellowish orange, but when it sits directly on the red, kind of darkens up and looks red, but it isn't. But I didn't really want to have to stop my live stream earlier, but got interrupted a little bit, so there's going to be two different ones up on. And yeah, your bullion is in a heavy duty safe. I recommend one so big that you can't move it by yourself. In fact, two or three guys can't move it. My one coin dealer, I've seen his safe. It's like a gun safe size one, big. It's taller than he is. He said 5 to 6 guys it took to wrestle it into his shop and put it in place. The other coin dealer, same thing. The jewelry store guy has one that's pretty big, but it's not as tall. It probably still weighs 200 or 300 pounds. Be very hard to get out of there. Now to crack them bigger safes, usually they're pretty tough. The little home ones, they're not real secure. If you have a really strong earth magnet, you can pop them open in seconds. So it'll keep an honest man out. You want to hide your safe in a good spot in your house that people don't tend to search. They'll search your bedroom, your closets, that kind of stuff. So you don't want to put it there, really. One thing that I watched a video, a guy was recommended places to put them. Put it in your laundry room, in a cabinet, hide it behind towels and linen. So generally, when someone goes into your house to, break in to steal something, they're not going to go down to your laundry room and rifle through all your towels. That's not going to happen. They don't care. They're looking for money. They're looking for electronics. They're looking for expensive stuff like guitars, anything they can grab and dash with quickly. They're not looking for, they're going to look there. And if you have a pantry in your house, that's another place he said, especially if the door opens into the pantry and in there you got food and stuff, paper towels, toilet paper, linens, all kinds, whatever you would store in your pantry. You put your safe behind where the door opens to. So it's behind there. They'll open it and see cans of food. Unless they're hungry or in hell, they're not going to take your food, probably. Of course, these days, with the price of stuff and food shortages, they might take some of your food. But it's less likely. They're looking, like I said, most of these are looking for electronics. They're looking for money, cash. And they might not even take silver if they, coins like this, they see them, because they'd be like, well, I got to go and sell it to somebody. It's too much of a hassle. It might, and then you get questions, if you go take something to a pawn shop, is this yours? Did you steal this? They're supposed to ask you questions especially, is this yours to sell? How'd you get it? They're supposed to ask questions. They may not always do it, probably not, but that's kind of what I wanted to cover, was what's in these tubes and how much of a silver shortage there's been lately. Not that much, I don't think. Every time I go to my coin dealers, they have silver coins. You may not have a lot to sell at the moment. I mean, the one guy on South 7th is kind of like, he told me recently, it's kind of like a hobby for him. I've even heard him take a call where a guy wanted to sell silver and he told them, don't sell it. Just put it away. Act like you don't even have it. He said, keep it, hide it. Oh, yeah, my little friend. Yeah, a lot of people are like that. Anyway, I even heard him take a call once where a guy asked him how much he was buying silver for and how much he was selling, and he told me, well, he told him, and I overheard it. A roll of dimes at the point at that day, said he was charging 120 something. He's paying like 85, I think, for a roll. So if somebody brought in 500 rolls of them, he bought all of them, and they turned around and sold all of them, he made a lot of money. And I know he does it all the time, because I'll go in there and he'll have a bucket with silver in it, loose or rolled up coins. And he'll tell me, yeah, this guy is coming in later to buy all this. I have to count it up and make sure I got what he wants. And so he'll buy, and then he'll turn around and sell. buy a little bit lower than what he sells it for, and make some money per coin. He ain't making a whole lot, but the fact that he's dealing with hundreds of dollars face, then he starts making some money. I mean, the last time I saw him a couple weeks ago, he had a bucket with loose Morgan and peace dollars in it, probably about 150, 180 maybe. He had them kind of stacked out and he's counting. Excuse me. And he had $80 face of half dollars stacks. And he said, "This guy wants all of it. I have to." He comes in, he's going to buy all of it. And he had just bought it that morning, apparently. So he made some good money once he turned around and sold it. Yeah, good place to keep your small stack. Yeah, I need to get a bigger safe myself. I need to get one that's a lot harder to crack. Because I watched a video of some guy had a big older safe that was, I don't even know what kind of safe it was, but it was probably 5 foot tall, real wide, real deep front to back, older, hard, was hard to crack. The expert safe cracker, he was able to open it, but it took him around 20 to 30 minutes, I think is what the guy said. He said by that time, if you have an alarm system, the cops should be there, long before you can get into it. I mean, a small safe that it's light enough for someone to carry, they can just take it out of your house if they want, put it in their vehicle and run. Whenever they get where they want, they can take all the time in the world to bust it open. I even seen some videos where a guy bought bought it at the Goodwill. It was locked. He didn't know. He thought there might be something in it. There it turned out. He pried it open, finally got it open. There was nothing in it, which was expected because most people aren't going to turn a safe into the Goodwill full of stuff. I mean, unless you couldn't open it and you died and then someone saw, "I don't want that. It's just a piece of metal," and didn't think there was anything in it. But if you do collect silver, you should let someone you trust know that you have silver and it's worth more than the face. Very important. Because if you have rolls of quarters and dimes like this and someone doesn't know it's really worth anything, and you die and they get it and they're like, "Well, it's just change, take it to the bank and deposit it." You deposit rolls of dimes, well, if they're in paper rolls, this probably would give someone pause and they're like, "Oh, why is it in a plastic tube instead?" But if it's just in paper rolls, it just, it's $10 of half dollars. Unless they open it up and look at it, they ain't gonna know it's silver. And if they don't know nothing about silver, they might not think it's worth anything. $10. You deposit this. You rolled it up in paper, took it to the bank, deposit you $10. The fact that every one of these 90% coins in here are at least $8 of silver recently for melt, and about $10.50 per coin at the cheapest. 10 for these Benjis. There's JFKs in here, and there's a JFK 64. And the bottom are all walkers. There's like 11 walkers. They were so this is probably $230, $240, price of coins. If you deposit it and you get $10 to your bank, you are in problem. Oh, copper pipe. Interesting. My brother and I done some plumbing, and he bought a 4-foot piece of pipe at Menards. It's $15 for the pipe. That, a penny's worth right around 3 cents in copper, the older copper ones. So I got a coffee jar that I'm putting from 59 to 81 pennies in. Now 82, some are zinc and some are copper. I have some 82 ones, but it's just a hassle to figure out which is which. So I'm just putting 59 to 1981s in the jar. I want to see how long it takes me to fill it. Probably got about 50 coins in it right now after about a month of looking through my change. Another thing I do is I take my quarters and dimes, nickels, and throw them into another coffee can. And after it gets filled up a little bit, I'll go to a record store where they buy change off me, and I'll get $10 or $15 cash. Then I'll go buy silver if I can find some that I want to buy at that, with that money. That's another thing you could do. That's another way to say. I look at this silver as a savings account. About $2 a dime these days. This is $100, give or take. Most of them are circulated. I mean, if I individually sold them all to get a vendor event or something, I might actually be able to get $2.25 a piece for them. And same with these. There's not quite 50 in this. I'm not sure. It's 30 or so. This is about $7 of quarters. I could probably get at least $5 a piece for them, maybe 6. So, but I view all this as a savings account. You have to convert it to cash to buy something, just like you have to go to the bank and withdraw the money to actually buy something from your savings account if it's not hooked up to an ATM card. But anyway, I've already live streamed over 30 minutes earlier, and this is about getting upwards of 50 minutes. I'm starting to get a little bit tired, and I have to get up in the morning and go to work. So I'm going to go ahead and wish y'all a good night. I'll set this to where people can watch it anytime they want in case they missed it. And then you know, hope everything goes good for you and have a good night.